Greetings, fellow Empyreans. I am Ashrothi, and today we are looking at the UI. Yes, it is true. I got lost my UI information data due to a crash, didn't have it backed up, and saw this as a wonderful opportunity to rebuild the UI live on stream, go over all the kind of things that I do for my UI. Actually, let me switch over to... I'm not sure if that's much better, but we're going to go with that one for now. We're going to go over all the different things that I set up for my UI, and we will get this thing up to speed, and then I will make a copy of it, so that way it no longer, like, even if it was to get corrupted again or something, hopefully the copy will work. So, and then it will also show how to change profiles, have multiple profiles, etc. All right, so first things first, the escape menu. With the escape menu, when it comes all streamers, I strongly recommend all streamers should do this. Everybody else can do this. The camera shake is like when you get hit by a missile or when you go in and out of warp, the camera shakes. And it does it like when you go in and out of warp, which you as a player can often, you're contextualized, but I have been told by viewers all the time that this makes them nauseous because they're watching somebody else play, and so they don't have that same context, and the shaking makes them nauseous. So you can turn off you should turn off camera shake if you're a streamer, and you can also if you're a player, just a non-streamer player, and you want like smooth into and out of warp. Camera bobbing is way less important to check or uncheck. This is so subtle that you probably will not see it unless you happen to be like doing a time lapse or something. This was literally a requested feature for time lapse. The camera very, very slowly bobs around, which isn't as big of a deal, but you can keep, that's preference. Dynamic camera movement is when you enter into warp or other places where the camera kind of shifts to the left or right based on your velocity or anything like that. If you uncheck this, then your ship remains locked in the middle of the screen no matter what. And then, of course, invert zoom, invert Y, and offset interface with camera. So one of the things I like to do occasionally is, like, if I'm doing multiple monitors, or let's say I have a lot of things over on this side and I want to show my ship over on like the far side, I will actually move with the camera center button my ship off to the left. And then if you want to, you can offset the interface with the camera. And if you do that, then everything kind of shifts over with it. Whereas, so now we're going to go back to center. All right. I like all my effects. I like my graphics. I will say that even if you do want to turn it down, I recommend trying to keep the shader quality as high as you possibly can, because that also affects things like your windows. I will say it seems harder to figure out where to click and drag. Oh, I see. Hold on. There we go. Because it was offset by my interface, or by my camera center. Anywho, right. So in chat, this is all fine. I remember when this first came out, and it has always been show info, and then one day they changed it to be start conversation without an option, and suddenly people were accidentally opening convos with people rather than checking them out, which was kind of funny. Hold on. This is not looking good. that necessary? We'll work with that for now. But yeah, I don't need to change that at all. Under general settings, this is the important one. Open radial menu with. I have always strongly recommended using the radial menu. It teaches you, or it is radial menu combined with hotkeys just makes you a faster, more responsive pilot that can do more things on the fly. I have a video all about the radial menu that you can check out. It's called Don't Be Bad, Use the Radial Menu, but I strongly recommend moving it to the right mouse button. Some people like to move it to a different mouse button. I use the right mouse button so that way all of my interactions are on my right mouse button. I can click and release for drop-down menu, and I can click and gesture for the radial menu. So this is all fine, all fine. In shortcuts, you had no idea that double-clicking a user shows info? There you go. I don't. The delay doesn't matter, Fonsui, because as long as you hold it the entire time, then you can begin the gesture before it pops open. At least that's what I've found. All right, so a couple of important shortcuts in combat. We have, is it combat? No. In navigation, we have, no, wait, there it is. Yeah. Broadcast need armor. I like to change that to A. Well, actually, no, that's aligned to. Can we do Shift A? Yeah. And then shields is Shift B. Sorry, Shift S. Which I don't need the search bar focus one. And capacitor is going to be Shift D. And in position is going to be Shift F. Wait, nope, can't be Shift F. Shift X? Shift X. Got it. So now I can do all my broadcasts through hotkeys. MER just dropped. Anywho, the other thing is the broadcast radial menu. I choose to put my broadcast radial menu on the right mouse, on the middle mouse button, but you can put it on any other hotkey that you would like to. Basically, the broadcast radial menu, if you're in a position that you can broadcast, like as in you're in a fleet or something along like that, you can broadcast using the broadcast radial in the same way that you can just use normal actions with the normal radial. So since up and left is approach, right? Then that means that broadcast up and left means align to, for example. So very, very useful thing there. Drones. There is a reconnect to the lost drones hotkey. I think this is all fine. And then where is refresh descan? No? Is it combat? Should be combat. Refresh probe scan. There it is. Directional scan, V. Oh, yeah. So by default, directional scan is V. I like to switch it to spacebar. That way, this does two things. It makes it so that it's far easier to hit your descan button. And also, and I think more importantly, the problem is that if you hit spacebar as it is, it changes your focus to your chat window. That means that every hotkey that you do after that point is going to be interpreted as typing into the chat window rather than as a hotkey, and therefore that can actually lead to bigger problems. So I like to reassign the shortcut from for directional scan from V to space for those two reasons. Refresh probe scans fine. I do actually like to change the decrease probe scan range and increase probe scan range to hotkeys, but I've also gotten more and more used to using the Alt and scroll wheel to do it, so I think that should be fine. I think that might be it for when it comes to major hotkeys. All right. Now, of course, before you go anywhere, you'll want to take your local window and pop it out separate from all your other chat windows. This local window is not a chat protocol. It is a Intel tool that you can theoretically use to chat with if you want to. Okay? So I love the fact that you can crush this all the way down, but people do like to talk to me sometimes. So I'm going to move it to being about that width and put it over here. That way I can keep track of who's in local with me. Sometimes that gets changed around, but for now we're going to stick with that. Next, let's see. Anything else I can do? I'll dock. When it comes to the Neocom menu, I do like to put certain utilities on, or certain things on the action hotbar. So I can't remember what they are right. I can't think of them right now, ironically enough, but like I do like the faction warfare one. So we're just going to click the faction warfare entry in the Neocom. I know it's kind of hard to see, and I'm going to drop it on the bar. Hold on one second. Where's this? Oops. Hold on. Boom. That's where that went. All right. Meanwhile, what is this? This isn't even a thing. Hold on. Oh my gosh. My apologies. All right, just for a few seconds. So as you can see here, like I'll remove the shortcut again. I can hit the Neocom, go down and grab any entry here and drag and drop it onto the Neocom bar. I can also right click and create a group. Oh, that UI is awesome. We'll call it like PvP. And then I can do, can I make a shortcut to a specific page in the agency? Let me see. No. All right, well, whatever. I can move the faction warfare thing into that group. And then I can also grab, I don't know, fleet, just in case I want an extra fleet entry, because sometimes I don't see, or here's a good one, ship tree. You know, you might want the ship tree to be available, or Another good one is the pointer window. Putting the pointer window on your hotbar makes it so that it's very quick to find every other UI element in the game. So, you know, you can customize your Neocom. In the meantime, I think that I'm not going to worry about it too much more than that. And I believe that that means it's time to undock. Oh, sorry. One more thing I'm going to do before I undock. I'm going to open up my map menu. It's going to full screen it. That could kill me. So I'm going to click and drag it from the top bar and then shrink it down. And then likewise, I'm going to open up my skill window and click and drag it and shrink it down. Okay? Okay, we're good. Let's move this back down. And we can undock and start working on our overview. Yes, the fact that you can completely collapse your local now is really good. You wish that local window worked in wormhole space, but that's like the defining feature of wormhole space. If you want wormhole space without, or if you want wormhole space with local, it's called nullsec. Yeah, you can toggle the map to floating, but that's what I did. I was just showing that when it's full screen like this, well, that's whatever. When it's full screen like this, you can actually click on it from the top and drag it down, and it turns it to floating. Okay. Now then, I personally like to have my HUD at the top. So I'm going to click on this this little cheeseburger menu and say HUD Align to top. And I'm going to go here and say configure ship health and alert settings. So this allows me to decide when these different alarms will go off. The shield alarm threshold, I want it to be, oh, I guess this got saved. Although I think I'm going to go with 90% here. So basically my shields alarm will go off when they're broken. My armor alarm will go off when it starts being hit, just to wake me up if I'm not. My hull alert will go off when it's hit. Capacitor threshold at the beginning of the window, so that way I may be able to shut things off while I'm in my peak recharge. And available cargo space is good. So I'm going to do that and set it to 10%. The nice thing about this is that you can actually, as a miner, you can change what cargo hold is being tracked, and it should still make that announcement when it fills up. Let's see. What's display sensor? Oh, yeah, display sensor overlay for sure. Display readout, I like that. I don't necessarily like to display passive modules, although some people do. If you're really big into overheating and you don't want to burn out your passive modules accidentally. Yeah, that's it from there. Now, when I lock something, I'm going to go, if you look at the locked icon, there's this little circle with a plus right to the top left of it. Well, this is the anchor. So you can actually move your selected targets somewhere else. You can also right click on it and arrange the targets vertically. So now I can't target those things because they're invulnerable. I'd have to go find something to go target. Hold on. S-ray belt? And while we do this, we'll get... Oh, here we go. All right. So I can lock these Rex and the rat. And you can see that it aligns them vertically. That's how I do that. And then if you right-click it, you can go arrange targets horizontally. There you go. That's one of the ways that I like to do it. Now, is there a maximum distance for acceleration gate warp? It should be 2.5K, right? Or 2K. 2K interaction range. So interaction range is 2 kilometers. That's what it takes to like loot something. That's what it takes to jump through a Stargate. That's what it takes to use an acceleration gate. That's what it takes to be close enough to like transfer into somebody else's hold if it's a fleet hold, etc. All right. Now then, the overview. This is going to be the monster, of course. We're going to go over all the pieces of the overview. But first, I'm going to get myself started with a off on the right start. So if you join the channel, ZTAC S overview should be. Is it really not going to do it? ZTAC S overview should be it, right? Yeah. So the ZTAC S overview channel. This is a really, really good set of tags or a set of overviews. So let's see. I think we open up overview settings. Oh, hold on. Ha! This makes it so the overview settings button isn't showing because it's in the wrong place now because of Photon. So here is my overview settings. And just like it says, we're going to go to the miscellaneous tab and say reset. Actually, hold on. Yeah. Reset overview settings just in case. And then we're going to click on core and load it. And we're going to click on compact. No, let's go with standard. Boom. So now we've got all of our tabs and its formats, okay? Or at least some of them. You know what? Let's go with compact. Yeah. This is fine. We can also make additional tabs, which we will be doing soon, but this is going to get us started, all right? And then is DScan extended going to be a good one? I don't know, whatever. Let's get started in the main overview section. I can't close my chats because it includes the Alliance and Corp chats, and those can't be closed. That's funny. Yeah, once you learn how to do this, it changes the game entirely. So we're going to start with everything besides the thing that everybody thinks about, probably. The first one, overview tabs. This is a setup of all the different tabs that we have available. These color designations are cool, but unnecessary. Let me show you. If you go here, I can add a new tab and say mining. Or no, we're going to go with events, right? Events. And now you can see you can't see it. You can see that it's gray by default, but I can go here and I can select a different color, and now it's orange. So you don't actually have to do these like color tags or anything like that. You can just type it in and then set the color that you want. Done. And then you do an overview preset. So I don't have any of my presets anymore, so we're just going to leave it go. And I love to have show all brackets all the time, no matter what. So that show all brackets means that even if something is not on your overview, it'll show up as a bracket in space, right? So like right now, I don't have Rex on my overview, but I do have Rex showing up in space. Even if I don't lock these guys. See, I have this, I have the drones on my overview. I have the Rex, all that kind of stuff. But if I go here and go to, what does this mean? Bracket. Either way, if I go here and go to hide all brackets, now you see that all of those things disappear. And if I go to stop hiding all brackets, now I would have thought that those would not be there. Maybe I don't 100% know what it does. Either way, if you show all brackets, especially when it comes to like players, here we go. Let's do it this way. If I go here, it doesn't show the ship. If I go to hide all, show all brackets. Okay, whatever. We're going to move on. I like to show all brackets because it shows everything in space. That way you can interact with it. Often, like if you jump into the Abyss and you don't have your profile set up correctly, you're not showing all brackets, you won't even see the rats on field because there won't be a little indicator in space. You'd have to see like literally the ship flying around, which is, you know, a little tricky. So show all brackets all the time, all the places. I don't know why it's being weird here, but all right. Tab presets. We're going to switch over to the events tab because that's the one that, yeah, we're just going to start out with that one. All right. So this is where you select what does and doesn't show up on your overview. Okay. So here's all the asteroid types. So for instance, if I was to go right click, select all, now all the asteroids show up on my overview. Right. And then if I deselect all, boom, they're all off my overview. See? So I'm going to deselect all to start with. So now nothing is shown. We're going to add asteroid belts. Moon. Planet. Stargate. Sun. And wreck. Okay. Then under charges, we don't need any of those. Deployables, I don't think we need any of the, well, given the fact that I might be doing this in like nullsec or something like that, we're going to go with a mobile observatory, more mobile warp disruptor. I think that should be about it for that. Drones, I don't really care. Entities, here we go. So for entities, I'm going to just go here and check all of the irregulars. Okay, irregular is, wow, is it really going to like bounce me back up every single time I click on any of them? Neat. Can I, oh no, I can't do that. All right, in that case, I'm going to do a search, irregular. And now I should be able to just check them, right? Yes. Of course, the big one for this event is going to be the irregular capsule, but all event ships are going to be irregular, so we're just going to get them all. from there, we can go to... we don't need any NPCs, really. That's fine. We want all ships. So that way, if a player's in a ship, we can see them. We're going to want stations. And let's go ahead and grab all the structures, too. All right. So this is all of the things that we want to have shown on this map. And we're going to go with events as the preset. Now, saving this preset is really important for a couple of reasons. One, it of course makes it so that, you can change it back. You can load a preset or whatever. And you can, if you try to like transfer it to somebody without saving it first, I don't think it does it well. But the bigger thing is that if you save it as a new profile, that's how you get these. Forgot one. And then sorry, when you open up the map, you can pop out the directional scanner and probe scanner like that. That way you can close the map. Either way. When you do the directional scanner, you can choose which filter you do, and these are all your saved profiles. So now that I've made events, I can select events. So it doesn't matter if I have a different overview selected. Now it will descan filter based on my events tab only, right? Next, on the other half, it can show states. So where this one shows what it is required, what it needs to be in order for it to be shown, this is what state it requires to have in order to be shown. Okay? So the way it works is you have show by default, which means it's always going to show no matter what. No, sorry. Show by default is just basically the generic, right? It means, show if it's going to show. Show unless something filters it out. That's the rule. Then the red explicitly filters it out, and the green explicitly filters in. So basically, the priority is if it's green, it's going to show. If it's all right. If it's green, it's going to show. If it's not green and red, then it'll hide it. And if it's not green, not red, but it is blue, then it'll also show it. Okay? So we want to explicitly eliminate. Do we want to explicitly eliminate anybody? You could actually filter out, for example, empty Rex and Rex that you've already viewed. That's kind of cool. You can also, this is how you control whether or not you show purples in your fleet, right? So, and this is, again, like priority stacked, right? So if I select Rec is already viewed, no, that's not a good example. I can't really show it right now because of who's on field with me or whatever, but maybe. Hold on. Yeah, let's do this. So I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to add him as a contact with orange standing. Okay. Not that I think anything wrong about him, but just to be careful. So now I can hit pilot has bad standings is filtered out, and boom, he's no longer shown. And it's still not going to work, is it? Nope, because I don't have another thing to use to put it on. Either way, if there's another state, like if we were in the fleet together and I posted this, then he would show up, right? Even though he's got bad standings and therefore filtered out because of that, if he's in my fleet, he would still show up. Okay? But for now, we're just going to leave this one the way it is. Remove from contact. Appearance. Okay, so this is how things appear in your overview. So this doesn't select what does show up, but it does show what appears on it and under it, right? So as you can see, the blinky ones are at war with you or your corporation alliance, with your militia, has a limited engagement timer, has a security status below -5, which means anybody can engage it, and pilot is a criminal. So what that means is that if any of these blinky things, by default, if you see anything blinking, that means that you can actively fire on it. Okay? You can change these to be whatever you want. If you want to change whether or not they blink, you right-click on it and toggle blink. That's what it is. And then for the background, you can select what kind of background they have for it. So like I don't care about well, I sort of like the white background, but if I have no standing, then I can click on that, the clear, and now he doesn't have a background again, right? What does it use small color tags? Oh, I can make pilot has no standing. Yeah, there's a little color tag there. Oh, I see. So you see how small that color tag is? That's why. If I uncheck that, then they're big again. And then use small font. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Also apply to other items in space. That will allow you to see if something's owned by somebody else or whatever. I think that's what that's for. Yeah. And you can customize these. Likewise, you can toggle the blink for the background too, right? So by default, I think these also have a blinky background too. And in addition to that, if there's a state that you want to apply over a different state, right? Then you can drag it up and down, right? So I want the fact that they are, yeah. Let's say I have a person in my fleet. Wait, hold on. Why is this orange? It should be like teal, right? Let's see. Oh, I guess this already uneffed my overview. But by default, let's say that the fleet is like down here, right? Now the top thing is what applies. So, oh, that's what it is. So if I'm in a fleet, even if the person's at war with me, I want to see them as being in my fleet, right? So I'm going to put fleet at the very top. And likewise, if they're in my corporation or alliance, maybe I'll want to see if they're because if they're criminal but in my corporation or alliance, then it'll still show that they're in my corporation or alliance. So whichever one's at the top is going to be the most, or is going to be the highest priority. So basically, it goes down the list for each item or for each thing, and the first one it hits that applies to it, then that's the background color that you have. Color tag likewise can be dragged up and down for priority. Maybe I shouldn't have done the ZTAC S overview first, so that way. Actually, hold on. Let's do this. Can I reset all things and then reapply it? It's not worth it. So in columns, this is what columns appear here. So like as a streamer, I like to actually move name down and type up, because you can work off of type and then you don't have to necessarily show that. You can choose whether or not you want to show names at the moment. And that helps with a little bit of mild OPSEC. By default, I don't think that the icons show. So, you can check that. Oh, tag. There it is. Tags aren't showing by default. So I'm going to put tags there, and I'm going to move it up. Pitbull, thanks for joining us down the rabbit hole, Sheep Online. Immortal. And then I can see like Alliance, Corporation, which Alliance and Corporation probably aren't as important as names. So I'm going to actually put those below name. And then I'm going to bring up transversal. And angular. Somebody once asked, what's more useful, angular versus transversal? Technically speaking, they can both be. Transversal is the thing that ends up being the reason why you hit or not. But this angular velocity is pretty much as accurate, and it more or less tracks with your, or it has a more useful number. Hold on. Maybe transversal has the more useful number. Yeah, that sounds right. So if you look, this transversal number can be compared against your turret tracking number. We're going to stick with that and put angular lower down for now. Hey, CCP Kestrel, how's it going? Congratulations on not being an April Fool's joke. So yeah, I do love the fact that you can drag them up and down in order to move them. So we're going to go with size as well. There we go. So now we've got a lot of information on our overview, and it's in an order that we can crush this down a little bit and have a more basic one, if that makes sense. Let me show you. So I can go expand it all the way out to here, or I can bring it to about here and get all of my most useful information. Ships. So this is what shows up in space as their complete ticker, right? So like if I click on him, you see how it says Retriever and then his corporation name. Retriever's in white, corporation name is Retriever's in yellow, corporation ticker's name is in white. So here I can uncheck and check these things. So if I uncheck corp ticker, look, his corp ticker disappears. I I can also do ship name if I want to. Not sure what this one does. Oh, additional text. This doesn't look very Photon compatible yet, so whatever. And then there's you can add a line break just like this, and then put more information. So as you can see, like it has brackets and then a dash. There's your bracket name dash. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, there's an end bracket here. That's where it is. There you go. And you can change it to be bold, you know, whatever. Hide corp ticker if they're an alliance. That's probably a good one. Oh. Shucks. That's what happens when, so basically there is a way to use external tools to change things in your, or to like make these kinds of markup to change the color without using the interface. But I'm not going to use that. So there we go. Cool. Cheeseburger menu. These are like presets, I assume. Yeah, you would have, you can, so you can export, you don't even need another tool. It's that if you go to miscellaneous and then export overview settings, you can literally just open them up and it's, you know, XML format, change the XML and then import that file back in. That's it. That's all it takes. Rename my ship Death Boomerang. Okay. And then, you know, history, of course, lets you do that. Miscellaneous has other stuff involving the world. So display damage indications. I'm not even sure whether or not I know what all these things do, but maybe it's worth looking into. Either way, that's a good one. But so that kind of goes over how to do all of your different tabs. But Ashtarothi, what if I don't want to go through all of the overview settings? Well, the fast way to do it is, let's say I want planets on my overview, right? I like planets on my main overview. So I'm going to find a planet in space, or I can right-click in space and go to planets, select one, and then go add planet to overview. And poof, all the planets are on overview. Likewise, you can right-click something and go to remove it from the overview, and it removes it from the overview. Now, this doesn't save it. As you can see, it says not saved. So then you can save it here. And, you know, if you use the same name, then it'll ask you to overwrite it, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so you can, on the fly, you know, you jump in somewhere, you have all brackets shown, so you can see that there's something out there, but you can't, but you don't see it on your overview. You just right click on it and add it to your overview. So, you know, if I wanted to go here, let's say I don't have Rex right now, and I just need Rex at the moment. I can add Rex to my overview. Now Rex are on the overview. And then when I'm done with the Rex, I can just right click it again and remove Rex from overview. So I think that's going to about do it for me for now. I might do some more customizations on the overview later, but at this point, I think I'm pretty happy with my settings. So I hope this has been useful to everybody. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you learned something new, make sure to point that out, or you can comment that. Or if I missed something and you have your own tips or tricks about your overview, then please go ahead and link those in the comments as well. The drop-down menu no longer has those check boxes that people were complaining about, but hold on a second. I think that isn't there an overview? One second. Isn't there a use? Oh, I love the match theme to active ship. That makes it so that depending on which ship you're in, makes it it'll change no matter what, based on what ship you're in. Is there a way to change all of my windows to being dark mode or turn off light mode? I don't know. Oh well. I really like the dark mode because, or I really like disabled light background because it makes it far easier to read without seeing without the background like blurring it out. Like, look at that. The difference between the selected item and the overview. Let me just make this cheat sheet disappear for a few minutes. No, that's whether or not it blurs. So like I can actually, that would do the opposite of what I want. If I go here and turn, where is it? Yeah, enable window blur. Now it just makes it harder to see altogether. Or now they're all dark mode? Oh, I think I like that. Yes, I do. What happens if I go to light mode now? Nothing. I love window blur, or disabling window blur. That's awesome. Excellent. Thank you. So that about wraps it up. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any more tips, whatever. Thanks to you all for checking this out, and I hope this was useful to everybody. And until next time, I've been Ashrathi, the voice of New Eden, and I'll see you in space.